Good morning, fishy folks. Happy Sunday fun day. Hope everyone's having a great weekend so far. Mine has been uneventful, which is nice. A couple of weird things in the fish room this morning. First, this is the Guppy Mutt tank. Just a ton of guppies. And I don't really do anything to this tank. I mean, there's Java moss and I feed it and it gets auto water changed every day. But that's it. And that's what happens when you let guppies run rampant. You can see a ton of fry, a ton of adults, a ton of juveniles. The problem with this tank is, I want to sell these to my local fish store, and he doesn't take just fancy guppies. I'm gonna see if I can sell them to him, even if they're cheaper than normal. Fancy guppies. But he likes them in pairs, and he likes the strains to be one strain. So, yeah. Some of the males with the really big fantails seem to be a little tore up, and I'm not exactly sure why. Because, water quality is perfect, 0, 0, and I think the last time I checked there was maybe 20 nitrates. So maybe it's just aggression, which is strange because there's about 1 million guppies in here. So I'll have to check that out. The other strange thing, or another strange thing, or a strange thing was, I just looked at this tank before I started filming, like, what the hell happened there? So my makeshift lid, which was just a piece of, whatever that stuff is called, just a leftover piece that I had laying across the top, must have fallen in somehow. And it took all the plants that were floating on the top to help with nitrates, and maybe give Fry a little place to hide out if needed. Fell, and it just looks funny. The other thing that kind of spooked me was, look at this tank quick. See it? Did you see? It looks like the whole bottom is cracked, right? See? But no, it's just a piece of black poster board. Yeah. So, it's a 10-gallon tank. Would have sucked if I found a cracked tank, but how did the tank get cracked? And why is it cracked? Oh, it's not cracked. You're an idiot. Alright, let's show you a little project I've been working on, which is this, supposed to be a 20... Sorry, just moving my stool out of the way. The 20 high rack, which is going to be for Angelfish pair. So here's what I got so far. This is all leftover PVC from my old system. It looks ugly. Nothing's glued yet. These pieces are glued from before, but basically this is resting on the ground, so it's putting no pressure onto here. There's a slight slope going down, which actually means I'm going to have to sort of measure where the holes are, which I didn't plan on doing, but that just makes a lot more sense. The water drains out fine from the one tank. I had it full. I was water testing. It was great. So I think this tank is going to be ready to go. I think what I'm going to do is move the Black Angel up top right there, which I got from Corona Ken, who's a listener. Thanks, Ken. And that Black Angel in that tank, and see what happens. I'm pretty sure Corona Ken's angel, we're going to call that angel Ken. Pretty sure Ken is a male, and I'm not sure if that's a male or a female. To me it looks male, but it's so small, could be a female. So like here, obviously, the ginormous one is a male, and the smaller one is a female. I can't believe how big that guy got. I got him when he was a little more than quarter size about a year ago, and he's ginormous. These guys are ready to sell, but we can't sell solo, and we can't sell, there he is. I'm like, where is he? Oh, he was hiding behind this damn thing, which came with the tank. We can't sell solo, and we can't sell skunk. And I think the others I'm going to give to my, like I said, my son's girlfriend's grandparents because I love them. Anyway, back to some angels, I guess. This guy was pretty colored up this morning, and last night I was hoping to come down and find eggs, but as you can see, no eggs. I also put my heater back on down here. I had a deal with my wife, as I said before, about smoke alarms, and I replaced every smoke alarm in the house and decided I can put this back on. So I think that's a pretty fair deal. So it's on. There's also a heater in this tank to try to get them to pair off a little. See if I can get them to pair off. But the tanks down here were about 72 degrees for a couple days. Now, without the heater, it's 76. This guy doesn't have a heater. So that's good. That'll hopefully increase breeding potential. Alright, so back to this rack. I contacted the company that I got the drill bit from because this is supposed to be 19 millimeters or 3/4 of an inch, the hole. And when I drilled the hole, the threads didn't fit. So I contacted them to question them, and they basically said, oh, don't worry about it, we'll just refund your money. Okay. I mean, I'm not going to complain. So I think I'm going to get a 20 or a 21 millimeter bit and or hole saw and start drilling holes like that. If you use PVC fittings and you use 1/2 inch PVC fittings to make bulkheads, please drop me a comment and let me know what size hole you drill. Because if I buy it now, or if I buy it tomorrow, if I buy it on Monday, I'll probably still get it on Wednesday. Actually, that's not true. If I buy it today, I'll probably get it on Monday from Amazon. I love Amazon. I've even got shipments on Sunday. But anywho, so the plan is for 4 20s on top, 3 20s on bottom. That'll give me 7 pair. I already have 2 established pair. Proven pair, I guess is what you're looking for. Look how colored she is, man. She's like, look at me, let's have some babies. And I'm hoping to get at least 3 more. A pair of platinums, a pair of blacks, and at least a pair of koi. I mean, with 8 koi, I would expect at least 2 pair, and it would be nice if it was those 2 really orange ones. The more orange cover, the better. Alright, so that's the plan for the angels. The other thing is, I lied. I actually have 3 proven pair because Solo's parents, which I forgot about, which are, sorry guys, just don't want to trip. He's up here. He came from the same batch. They both came from the same batch as the other 2 pair. But look at him. He's ginormous too. She's pretty beat up. Here's a good shot of her fins. Pretty beat up, but you know, healing. They're healing. I do have a really nice veil tail male, I think, upstairs, which I may or may not try to put with her or her. Although they're doing great. So these guys haven't been really giving me much fry. So at least for a while since Solo. So I may mix things up. We'll see how that goes. More angels. These are the, I don't care what you call them. I've heard people call them smoke. I've heard people call them silver. I've heard people call them zebras. I'm going to call them silvers because that's what the parents are. And they're doing fantastic. There's some high fin coverage, which is nice. There's some with a full black stripe on the fin. I don't know if that's going to stay that way, but yeah, real nice. Real nice. They like kind of hanging out in this, in the weeds, in the roots of this pothos plant. That's nice. I do have something going on down here that I want to show you. Let's see if he's the male. Yeah. The headstanding male. I gotta get him out of there, get some meds in him, see what's up. Yeah, I found him like that this morning. Don't know what happened. Check the water quality, 0, 0. Shit, what was nitrates? Nitrates also very low, like 10 or, it was 20. Because I was surprised it was 20 with so much plant matter in there. So yeah, I don't know what's going on there. You can see there's 1 fry. These guys are just growing out. These are the sunset Platys. These are the parents, you can see. There's one ginormous female, one smaller female, one male. And there's a little juvenile in there. There might be some more in the weeds, not really sure. Here's my other Guppy mutt tank or mixed tank, or actually it's not. They're all from the same strain, all from the same tank at PetSmart. These were the first guppies I bought actually for the fish room a long time ago, and I've also made the most money off of selling them. I did separate some of these guys out, as you know, into this tank. Some of the bigger dorsal fin, yeah. So to see what we get, I put 2 males, and actually it looks like 3 males and a bunch of females in there, and to see what kind of babies we could get. Thought that would be cool. But I'm thinking of taking everything in this tank and putting it down in my mutt tank and just, you know, dealing with it. The problem is, just like the other tank, there's so many fish in here, I really would have to separate them by size. I also might want to separate, like that one, I mean that one's a little different, and there's some with black coverage on the little piece between the body and the tail. I forget what that's called. It's not the peduncle, but it's something weird. Like her, that's kind of cool. You come with a fancy name like Midnight Sunrise or something, you know, because names sell. My gold ram, he's doing great. I wish I could find a female for him. A healthy female, big, I would drop her in a second. My goldfish is just chowing down on all the duckweed I put in his tank. And that's his purpose. I take duckweed from here, take duckweed from all the other tanks, put it in there, and that's what he eats. Every other day, I also give him some flake or whatever I'm feeding the other fish, some pellets. But he loves that duckweed. I do have to go through my molly tank probably next week again and look for some more juveniles I can grow out here. I know my local fish store needs some fish, and these might be the only thing I have for him. I would like to separate, this time I'm definitely going to separate the lyre tails from the non-lyre tails, because that's what he wants. And if that's what he wants, that's what I'll do. You know, talk about breeding for profit. I think the most important thing is the relationship with whoever you're selling to. And mine with my local fish store, the owner is such a nice guy and really takes care of me. Sometimes it's uncomfortable what he gives me, or you know, the discounts he gives me, because it's a business and I want him to make money, because I want to be able to sell him things in return. But on the other hand, if I did some more legwork and maybe made some more contacts at other local fish stores, I could probably sell my product for more than I'm selling it to him. So, you know, on one hand, it's easy, and I do get taken care of when I buy things. On the other hand, you know, if with some more work, you know, putting in some more time and effort, which I don't really have, I may be able to make more money, but buy stuff for less, or buy stuff for more too for the fish room. I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. Anyway, that's what happens when you don't have coffee on a Saturday morning. This guy looks cool with that long dorsal fin and the layer tail. Yeah, that guy right there. I got the angels down here. Nothing happening. You know, the 2 platinums. Yeah. I've got to do something with this tank. Maybe I'll throw a piece of driftwood in there, and, you know, a big piece, and see if that breaks up line of sight, and see if we can't get something happening. Molly tank. 2 molly tanks, Dalmatian mollies. These were the guys I bought on Craigslist, and I lost half of them when we had an ammonia spike. When they were not in my system, actually. Yeah, so they look old enough to breed. It looks like there's males and females in there. I haven't really checked, but with that many, you would assume. Maybe I got to put some more. I definitely should put some more cover in there for the fry, like this tank. This was great. I brought these guys home from the local fish store, the black Laretail mollies, and within 24 hours I had fry. So I think there's actually 2 different batches in here, but there's enough to grow out and sell, so I'm happy. And these guys eat. They're nice. These guys look spectacular. Green cobra guppies, just waiting on some fry. I said this before, and I have to do it. I just need some room. But I'm going to pull out, I think, 2 really nice males and 4 really nice females. And probably sell the rest. So, I think that's what I'm going to do. We'll see. We'll see. Lemon cobra or yellow cobra. I got a really pregnant female there. I know fry have been dropped recently because there's some tiny fry in the weeds. I don't know if you can see that one swimming. No, focus. Focus! You can see the blur, I guess. Well, there you go. It focused. Right there. Yeah, so some of these are getting ready to sell, which is nice. I haven't actually sold any of these yet. I don't even remember where I got them, to be honest. Alright, fishy folks, I think that's it for Sunday Funday. No update over here. The koi fry are doing spectacular, of course. I only counted about 10 fry in that tank over there. That one. And I don't see any free swimmers or even wigglers in the front tank. So, I don't know what happened over here. I really don't. I had so many, like a gajillion angel fry, free swimmers, and now there's only 10. Water quality is perfect. The only thing I'm thinking of is temperature. I had some temperature fluctuations down here, and that's a pretty small tank, so it's easier for the water to fluctuate. I don't know. Don't know. It's a mystery. We'll have to figure it out. Alright guys, everyone have a great day, and if you're going to be on Corey's stream tonight, I should probably see you there. I will definitely watch some of it. And that's that. Have a great day.